Hi everybody, welcome to my latest video from a fairly overcast, fairly gloomy Central Portugal, but the weather is mild and it's actually been really nice to be working outside when I can escape the bathroom corner prison that I've been in for what feels like weeks. But the counters are finally in and I think it looks fantastic and I'm really excited to share that with you guys, so watch until the end. I also try the taps out that I bought, I get them connected, so watch and see if that all works as it should. And there's a few other things as well that take me out of the house and down into the garden. So it's a fun video. It culminates in a bathroom counter with a top shelf and a bottom shelf, mostly finished in preparation for the sink. I still need to buy that. But yeah, I think it looks great. I'm excited to share it with you. But before we get into the video, I just wanted to remind everybody that if you do like the video, please give it a like. If you have friends that might be into my content, share it around. It really helps. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I love getting comments, so please do say hello in the comments. And the last thing is that I have a Patreon account down below. I have an Amazon wish list down below. And there's super thanks and PayPal and all that kind of stuff. So if anyone out there is feeling extra generous over the holiday season, all those links are below and it's always much appreciated. And thanks to everybody who has contributed a little extra in the past to my channel. It really does help out a lot. So enough of that stuff, let's get right into the video and I'll see you again at the end. Hello there! I thought I would start this video from a different porthole because most of the work has been focused in the shower. And what I'd like to do as the first thing is get the tape off and stick some little hooks in up here so that I can get this, I don't know, little soap and shampoo caddy thing off of the actual shower and up somewhere that's out of the way, because I find that when it's down here, everything gets dripped on and it's just annoying. I would have preferred black ones, but that's all they had in that size. So they're just little plastic hooks. And I guess first things first, let's gently lift this up and see if I can get the tape off. I hope it comes off pretty easily. Looks like it will. Or maybe not. Maybe I spoke too soon. Come on. Okay, that didn't go quite as planned. Let's try this again. I'll get these other pieces later. That'll do. And my plan is to stick it up here, out of the way. Okay, I guess let's mark it. I don't want it to be in the way of the windows, and I'd like it to be kind of over to the side as much as possible so I don't bang into it. So maybe somewhere around there would be good. So we'll have one hook in the base part and one hook in the uppy-downy part. I won't actually be opening this thing very often, so it doesn't matter if there's a hook in there. And then I have this drill bit, which might work for this. Choosing drill bits and screwdriver bits are not my, oh, I guess this is a screwdriver bit. I don't even know the difference, but choosing them is always quite difficult for me. I always seem to end up with the wrong drill bit especially, and I can never get the screws in, as I was mentioning in my last video. So hopefully this is okay. I guess I just make a hole and screw it in. Let's go. Maybe in a bit of an angle. Oops. Come on. Have to leave some space to be able to spin it around. I've never actually used these little hooky things before, so I'll be curious to see how well they go in. Right. Hopefully, they go in pretty well. Size looks good. Come on, in you go. Yeah, wow, okay, that's really good. I need some pliers to tighten it all up. Or, it's not like the soap caddy thing's gonna be that heavy, so that could do it. Here we go, one, or uno, dois. So those seem okay, and now, the moment of truth. Let's see if this thing fits on. Okay, easy peasy, it's sturdy, it's out of the way. Stuff isn't gonna drip on my soap dish and everything down there. And yeah, looks pretty good. So I've loaded that little caddy gizmo up with my shower stuff, and I'm just wondering, I'm questioning myself, why did this take me so long? Sticking that thing over there, getting the soap dish out from underneath the drippy stuff. I don't know, it seems like a really easy improvement to my life. It's annoying when your soap dish fills up with water, and it was such an easy fix that I don't know why I didn't do it earlier. But it's done now, I'm in the shower, I'm getting all these little things done, and next up, I guess I'll move on to the lower counter and start pushing ahead with that. But first, I'm hungry. So that's definitely been just a couple of very, very small tasks to start the day, but it's actually around 1 p.m. And I found a couple potatoes and I have the oven on, so I thought I would make some fries. I absolutely love having, oh, there's some burnt ones. I love having this little oven, but I don't usually make anything for lunch because I don't have it on. So just a quick and easy thing to do, chop some potatoes, and there you go. So I'm gonna relax, enjoy my slightly crispy, overdone fries, and sit by the fire, and I'll be back in the shower very soon. The fire is still roaring, the fries are delicious. It's nice and cozy in here and very, very freezing outside, though also quite beautiful. But the out of doors is still not for me. I've got shower work to do, so I'm banishing myself back inside once again. I'm gonna try to keep pushing on. All right, let's go. So this is going to be long enough. It's going to poke through under there and eventually lead up and connect with the tap. What I'm trying to do right now is see how much this hose bends, because the shelf that goes underneath is going to probably be in the way. It's definitely going to be in the way. And so I'm probably going to have to hack out some little section so that the hose can kind of go this way and then back around and get up to the top somehow. So it'll probably end up a little something like that, which is sort of crazy, but you do what you got to do. And before I move on, I just wanted to point out how much I dislike this stuff, but I do find that it's necessary, especially when you have metal on metal joints. And I know that there's a right way and a wrong way to put it on. I'm not sure if I nailed it. I always forget, but this is just sort of a preliminary stage anyway. So next thing, let's get the counter in place and mark some stuff out. Meow, I know. Exactly. So the fire is still roaring, and I've decided to move this operation inside because it is miserable out there. The weather is taking a turn, and I'm in a cloud. It does seem to be lifting a little bit, so hopefully I can get some more solar into my place, because at the moment I'm struggling to find any batteries that are actually charged. I think I might have a couple left, and I'm definitely gonna need to use the jigsaw and probably the router as well today. So things are inside, warm by the fire, and I think before I get to this, it's actually a good opportunity to finally take down these things that I've been drying, because they're kind of in the way. So it really is quite hot here by the fire, but I suppose that's the whole point. I would love to eventually get a dehydrator, although I think Sinead has an oven down there. Some sort of a ninja type thing that does dehydration. I haven't experimented with that yet. I might try to put some of my small bird's eye chilies in there and do an experiment hanging some by a string, which has been suggested, thank you. Or put some in the dehydrator and then put some in the freezer. But it is pretty cool that I get to have so many chilies to do so many things with. So I attach these with a nail through the stem and then wrap the string around, and now they kind of seem weirdly entangled. Oh yeah, it's a knot. So I'm not sure the best way to get these things off, actually. So I'm going to get to those later. Let's crumple the sage up and put that in storage. So this wonderful stuff, it's crispy, it smells amazing. It's from the sage plant right in front of my house, which is thriving. I also have a thyme plant there that's doing amazingly well. And I also have a pretty sad parsley plant too, although the parsley does do really well in the garden, so I'll probably move the operations for parsley down there in the future. But yeah, I've basically just been drying this for maybe 3 weeks or so. And I think it's really cool to be able to, yeah, just dry your own herbs. Like, that's kind of awesome. It's like getting tea fresh. It's just right out there. I love cooking, and I'd love to get a rosemary bush out there too. And I probably have lots of other herb dreams as well, but I just need to make space for them. I'd like to have this whole top terrace eventually as a medicinal herb garden, just like regular herbs for eating, and just kind of have like a lovely yeah, terrace full of amazing stuff that's got a nice design with paths, with some vertical stuff, and it's obviously far in the future, but you know, it's another thing I have in mind and something that I'm working towards. So satisfying. So I have a few sticks and things to pick out before I can put this in a jar, but I'll come back to that in a minute. First, let's get the chilies off of the string and onto this rack. So these things are so cool. Some of them are quite crispy and dry and seeming how I thought they would be. Some of them have sort of wetter spots on them, and I don't think they're ready. So I think there's about 3 or 4 that could maybe use a little bit more drying, so I probably will keep those on the rack close to the fire. So I'm pretty sure I've had these things hanging out for around 5 weeks. The basil I probably had going for maybe 3 weeks, and the sage was probably 3 weeks as well. So it's not ideal when the string is hanging across my living space. I'll probably try to find a different spot for them, or maybe just use a dehydrator in the future, or try to sun dry them on sunny days. But it's fun to try new things, and I have some Mexican peppers that are very difficult, if not impossible, to find in Portugal. So that's what I love to do. I love to grow things that you can't find in the supermarkets here. And so these peppers are definitely one of these things. Also Maraca. And yeah, I'm happy. Success, mostly. The sage smells amazing, but now it's time to get back into the carpentry. Okay, I'm back. The ancho chilies are just by the fire. And I just wanted to also point out the orange peel that apparently makes a really good fire starter and makes your house smell really yummy as well. The sage has been jarred up, and the tools are out there ready, and this is what I marked out earlier, and it's not accurate, as you can see. Normally when I'm using a router, I will put guides and I try to make everything pretty much as perfect as possible or as straight as possible, but in this case, I can't be bothered. So what I'm going to do is just try to freehand it. So in my experience, when I start this, it's going to want to try to pull me around and steer me places I don't want to go, but let's see if I can control this thing. So that's okay. There's definitely a right direction to travel with the router and a wrong direction, and going this way seems fine. Trying to go back the other way, not so much. And so I definitely don't need the entire thing carved out. So maybe I'll start here and see how that looks. So that seems okay, slow and steady. It looks ridiculous, but maybe it'll work. So here's where I got, and I'm not really happy with this. I don't know if I made the right direction decision. You can see that it's kind of wants to kink. It probably needs to go a bit deeper, but when I kind of pull it around here like this, it means I'm probably going to need an extender to be able to connect. This is the cold water to the cold water of the tap, because the tap will probably be elevated quite a bit off of the surface of the counter to clear the sink that I get. So now I'm wondering if my best bet is to send the pipe in the other direction. Over here, I'll probably need either a longer pipe or an extension still, or maybe I won't, we'll see. But that means the better solution could be just hacksawing the section out of the back and allowing the pipe to just steer behind the shelf. So I've got some thinking to do, but it's getting late and I've got plans later on, so I'm not gonna work on this anymore today. But I would like to do one more thing. So I've connected these bendy hoses to the wall, and I've got them on pretty tightly. There's Teflon there, so hopefully those are on to stay. And then I've got the tap, the pieces that go into the tap, they've got washers in there, so they should be fine. And then once I connect these, I'll be able to turn everything on and watch the water flow. So let's do that, and I think that'll be a nice way to end my day. Okay, the hoses are connected. I've only tightened them with my hands, so I'm pretty sure that part's gonna leak. But what I'm really watching for is any leaks in the tap and any leaks up here for these things. So let's turn things on. The tap is currently off, so this is the way to check the leaks. Everything's off. Turn these on and see what happens. These will be permanently on once I get the actual bathroom tap installed. So not having leaks is rather important, and it seems fine so far. Let's see what the tap is doing. Doesn't seem to be dripping water there either, and surprisingly that seems okay too. And hopefully something happens. Something happened. All right, let's get the hot water on. We have hot water! Woo! Let's get the cold water on. We have cold water, and it's got a lot of pressure. I love it. I love it. I'm very pleased. So I've got a tap that works. It's installed. There's no leaks, and of course I do have to disassemble it all in the future, but I'm going to chalk that up to a victory, and I'm also very surprised that there's no leaks, even though I just tightened it with my hands. So it's a win, and I'm going to celebrate tonight with a meal with friends, so I have to get tidied up, get ready to go out. And tomorrow, I'm hoping to be down at Sinead's place to help her finish off her bathroom building and get her shower installed, or at least get a start on it. But she's been very busy with other things, so who knows what tomorrow brings. I'm excited to find out, and I hope you are too. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow for either more bathroom work on the counter and the taps, or I'll be down at Sinead's, and we'll share the progress on what she's done so far, which is a lot, and continue pushing on so that she can have a warm, cozy bathroom over winter as well. So I'll see you tomorrow. Hello from a brand new and very beautiful day. Sinead's bathroom work is on hold for the moment. She's just too busy with work, so maybe we'll revisit that next week. I have all my stuff set out for what I need for the bathroom counter, so I'm going to continue pushing on with that. But first, let's head to the garden and get these in the ground. I found these gloriously colorful garlic sprouting in Sinead's pantry just now. I guess they were forgotten, meant to go in her garden, but never did. So I'm gonna stick them in my garden and have a little look around and see how the other things are doing. I feel like there might be some signs of life from the carrots, and everything else that I planted, except for the broad beans, seems to be not working at all. But the broad beans are looking fabulous along with the other garlic, so I definitely want to put more of those in the ground. And I would have loved to plant more of these, but I don't have any more seeds. So perhaps I'll pick some more up when I'm in town next, maybe tomorrow, and see if I can get them in the ground just as a nitrogen fixer. And I also thought I would pull out this sad squash plant because I don't think there's anything happening with this. It's looking very sad, very waterlogged, and it's just making some really depressing looking butternut squashes. So I'll clear that out later, tidy up the garden a little bit more. But I wanted to come down, get the garlic in the ground, and investigate what else is happening. So we also have some signs of life from the carrots. And carrots are funny because you plant a whole bunch of the little seeds, they're very tiny, in a row, and then you come back and you do some carrot murder. So now the idea is to sort of pull out all the carrot babies, leaving space for each one to grow. So yeah, there's a lot of waste planting carrots. I don't know if there's a better way. Sprinkling each individual seed seems kind of silly because they are so tiny, but pulling them out like this also seems kind of wasteful as well. So I've got some carrot murder to do a little later on. And right now, let's stick some of these in the ground. So this is where the visiting doggies had a bit of a field day back when we were doing olives. So let's just fill that back in. And garlic is really easy to plant. There's really nothing to it. And it seems to be growing really, really well here. So hopefully it'll be fine. But I just love how colorful and weird looking it is. And growing stuff like garlic, I just find it really rewarding. Anything that I grow that I get to pull up from the ground and you get the surprise of what it's gonna look like, I just love that. Carrots. I've never grown parsnips successfully, but I definitely would try that. Carrots, garlic, onion, all that kind of stuff. I guess I should probably plant it maybe above the ground since it's already started to sprout. I'm not planning on giving too much attention to the winter garden this year. As I've mentioned in the past, I always feel really burnt out from the summer gardening. But in this case, I feel like I just want to experiment and, yeah, try some things out. I'm also going to plant some seeds up top. I've got some coriander and some, I think it's called Tuscan kale seeds, and I'm going to get those going in the windowsill. I've never had any success at all growing coriander, but I think it's because I always started in the wrong season. So that's going to be interesting to monitor, and I feel like if I can just get it going up in the, maybe in my windowsill, get it started there and then move it to the polytunnel, that could be something that could work well. So we'll plant the seeds in a minute, but I'm just going to continue powering on with the garlic, get it in the ground, murder some carrots, and then, yeah, meet back up at the house for some more seed planting, and then we're going to get right back in to the work on the counter, and I'm really hoping I can get it in today. Okay, that's the last of the garlic in the beds. Carrot murder took a surprisingly long amount of time, and I wonder if I need to let them grow a little bit bigger before I can actually see what's going on. So I've made a little bit of space, but more murder is required soon, I think. And while I'm down here, I thought I would show you the glorious lemon tree. It doesn't seem to have as many lemons as last year, but it's looking good. They're ripening, and I'm very excited for lemon season, and I always also love it when the flowers bloom, when the lilies are blooming and the lemon tree is full of lemons and looking nice and yellow. It's a beautiful, beautiful sight. So I'll get to this in a minute. That counter is going in today, no matter what. But first, I want to get these little seeds in the ground. So I've got some coriander and some kale. And then let's actually take a look first at the little Tracy babies. They seem to be doing good. I assume there's roots forming. I assume that's happy because the leaves are still green. Nothing really seems to be dying. So yeah, I'll keep monitoring the situation. We've got a little snail on there though. You can go away. Let's put this over here. There you go, little guy. Leave Tracy alone. And yeah, let's get planting. Okay, seeds are planted. I did about a tray and a half of coriander because coriander is glorious, and the rest kale. And I have no idea if this is going to work, but I'm curious. So I'll keep you posted on how these all do. And for the moment, I'm back inside because though it's not completely chucking it down with rain, it is sprinkling a little bit off and on, and it's kind of risky to set up out here. Okay, so back inside I go. Let's say hello to Larry. How's it going, little guy? And let's finish this thing off once and for all. But before I get going in here, we have a guest. Some friends have found a dog shivering by the bins, and they're going into town to do some other stuff, so they've dropped it off to Sinead's. Hello, little guy.
She's cute, isn't she?
She's pretty cute. Hello, little one. Friendly, though. Little shivery. Hi.
Yeah, she's quite good.
She doesn't look unhealthy. So we don't know if she belongs to somebody, but we thought she can come down to the yurt for a little moment, and then maybe they'll take her to the vet to see if she's chipped. There's lots of stray dogs around these parts, but some of them just kind of roam in packs, so they probably belong to someone, but yeah, she seems very well looked after.
She doesn't look...
She's not scruffy.
No,
She's friendly. Anyway, maybe she can just be on a little vacation to the yurt.
That's where she is now.
And yeah, someone will claim her.
Just make sure I don't lose her.
Yeah, anyway.
That'd be embarrassing.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
See you later. We'll keep you updated on what happens with this little doggy. All right, back inside I go. It's getting cold out, so I'm gonna close the door, get the fire on, and I do have a soft spot in my heart for strays. Larry moved in as a stray cat, and he's just stuck around, and he's very lovely. He's been here all day. I think the cats are really enjoying their snoozes in this winter weather. So, the jigsaw's out. I'm gonna get started on this, but first, the fire is ready to go. Let's get it on and get things cozy. So that looks okay. It's a little squinty on this side, and I kind of got stuck in the corner there. I don't know if left-handed jigsawing is really my forte. I'm going to tidy this up a little bit, and then we're going to stick it in place so that I can double check the marking for the second cut that I need to do. Okay, that's in. I have a lot of work still to do to try to figure out how much of this front part to fit in so that the pipe sits properly. I've tapered this thing a little bit so that it'll hopefully just drop right in. I can glue it, possibly support it from underneath as well so I don't lose so much shelf space up top. And then underneath I have to connect the whole thing together, but first I have to stand it and stain it and do so many more other things. So here's where I'm at. It's getting late. I'm gonna do all this off camera and I'll see you soon when this thing is installed. So the counter is in, I just linseed oiled it, and that's the last step for a little while until I buy the sink of this long process. And I have a lot of stuff to share with you, but at first I gotta say, first of all, it's very late, so this has taken ages. I've probably been at it for maybe 4 or 5 hours, just doing all kinds of little small things, which I'll show you in a minute. But I gotta say, I definitely did have to put the camera away because it really does slow stuff down. So I'm sorry I can't always show you all of the little steps that I do, but we're gonna go through everything right now. And I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with the results. Okay, I've got my trusty flashlight because it's a little dark under here. So let's go over what I just did and what I still have to do. I did a whole bunch of plastering. Well, first I had to get the counter in, so that took a bit of finagling just to kind of angle it in the proper way. I also glued the pipe in, and that could have gone terribly wrong if I didn't get it vertical, because then it wouldn't have matched up with the little slot that I made. So I was really careful with that. The taps are off. I'll deal with those later, but I think this is going to work just the way everything is sort of leaning. Obviously I've got a weird sort of thing there, but whatever. Nobody's really going to see in here. I also did plastering over here, did some plastering at the back, a lot of plastering as always. Some under there as well. Maybe you can see the difference in the tone. And I also sponged it. And then this counter was obviously already installed. Oh, before I go up there, I put this little, I don't know, shelf thing to block off the hole. I think that'll be fine. This whole thing will eventually actually be blocked off. I have an idea. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I think it could look cool. And then underneath, I'm actually going to possibly have a curtain. And I think what I might do is like have laundry and some other storage under here. And while I'm down here, let me point out my plan for the bottom. I'm not sure if I want to put a wood trim around it or tiles. I feel like I have enough tiles to do tiles the whole way around. It's a job for another day, and I'll have to use grout, I think, there. But I obviously want to put that in just to make sure everything is fully closed off, fully waterproof, and just to finish it off and finish off the look. And then up here, this counter was obviously already in. I've put a coat of linseed oil on it. I do still have to attach things and drill a hole for the drain and everything, but I thought I would put the linseed oil on. I'm probably going to put 5 or 6 coats of the stuff just to protect it and waterproof it. And the cats like to jump up here, so hopefully it might protect it a little bit from cat claws. I should probably put a little bit more linseed oil on these ones as well, which have kind of got battered over the years. So, this is it, guys. The bathroom. Well, the bathroom counter, this has been a long slog, a labor of love. I really love the curviness of the counters. I'm really happy the taps don't leak. And next step, buy a sink. So, I'll keep you guys posted on that. So I finished this up just in the nick of time because it's been really foggy these past few days, and my solar has about 2% left on it before the lights go off. So I don't even know what time it is. It could be about 8 or 9. And it's definitely time to call it quits on this project. I'm gonna get back at it when the sink arrives. But in the meantime, I'm probably gonna spend some time out on the land, enjoying what's been a really mild winter so far, and possibly tackling the disaster that's on my bottom terrace. It really needs to be cleaned. I need to prune the orange trees, and I've just got a lot of stuff to do around the land. And I also have a couple of rainy day, smaller carpentry projects as well. So I've got loads of exciting things coming up, and I just thought I'd end the video with one last close look at the bathroom counter. And we might as well roam on into the shower as well, where I've taken the tape off up there, added this little caddy thing, and plastered it all. So big changes, and I gotta say I'm really, really proud of this, and I love how artistic it is, and it really has matched with my vision, which is kind of surprising. So let's leave things there. I'm gonna cook myself a very late dinner, and then probably get back to linseed oiling and put on another few coats before I go to sleep. So I hope you enjoyed this bathroom counter series, along with all the other stuff that was in the video. If you did, please give the video a like and share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.